It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. Will from Texas here. I know you're definitely not a fan of the tinny 80s music genre as a whole, and I mostly agree with you. So I want to get your take on the song King of Wishful Thinking by Go West. Just listen to it, and on first glance, I gotta say, I think it pops. Love the show, man. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I don't think I know that song, but Go West has a hit, and this isn't it, is it? Unless it's
good hit.
The one. What was their hit?
King of Wishful Thinking.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah.
But they don't say it in the song, do they?
Yeah. I'm the king of wishful thinking.
Huh. Well, let me hear it, because I recognize
Sexuality at this age.
what year's this, you think? Now, I will tell people this, 1990. Probably the worst year for me. You know, there's a worse year for stuff. You know what I mean? Like the worst year for boxing's heavyweight division.
Yeah.
1986, you know, like 1 year before Mike Tyson showed up, and a bunch of no-names were hanging out in the heavyweight division. Larry Holmes had just dominated for 12 years or whatever it is. But they're bad years for architecture. There's like, what is the worst year for American cars? Like 1974. You know, like everything they did was a piece. The Corvette was a piece of shit in 1970. Everything was the Mustang. Everything was a piece of shit in 1974. 1990, the worst. Now, here's the hole in my music. Why you guys all know this and I don't. I listen to K-Rock radio like exclusively, and then like on the job site, I would listen to oldies radio. And so it was all like Dion and the Belmonts or Teenage Enema Nurse. You know, like it was just all, but it was K-Rock. So K-Rock would have never played this, right? And then the oldie station, which was, I think, KLSX. I don't know, I end up on that station? Anyway, the point is the oldie station would have never played this. The K-Rock would have never played it. And then I would just buy... You know, I was buying CDs, you know, one every 2 weeks, you know, it's all I could afford. But I would just, because I didn't have any money, I just get the best of Steely Dan, the best of Bachman Turner Overdrive, the best of Deepest Purple. You know, that CDs were $12. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't go buying the new stuff. I had to buy the best of buy the best the Doors or Steely Dan or whatever. It's just all the hits. And so I would have never heard this song because I would never listen to pop radio, and I didn't know anybody who listened to pop radio. All right, but anyway, I'll sign off on it. That sound it's tinny and soulless.
That song was one of the bangers at every high school dance.
Yes, you're right.
Also, I was older by then, so I wasn't making the scene. And I never went to like dance clubs or clubs. I couldn't afford to buy drinks and stuff, you know? Yeah. All right. Mayhem's got his news ready, but I had a harrowing experience on the way in today. Harrowing. Fast lane. Now, to be fair, there was a diamond lane that I wasn't in. So I was in the one next to the diamond lane.
Yeah.
Which I guess de facto is the fast lane on the freeway, if there is a diamond lane. And I was chugging along. Now, I don't know, 68, 70, whatever, down the 101 or probably the 134 at this point. And all of a sudden, the car, which is newish, started bucking a little. Like felt a little chunk in the drivetrain, and then a light came on the dash that said malfunction with the hybrid system, service immediately.
Oh,
but I was on the middle of the freeway, probably about 4 miles from here, and moving along. So I started giving it gas, but giving it gas wasn't really overcoming what was going on. I was kind of trying to feather the pedal. Just kind of, I don't know. It's an old school thing when you're used to driving old cars to get them to catch. You know what I mean? You sort of do that feather foot pump thing. And the car's it was losing power. I don't know this car that well, and I'm not really sure what the limitations are, but I put it into neutral.
Yeah.
And now I'm coasting. But I'm decreasing speed because I got no power. But I started off at 70, so I'm still moving along, and there's cars coming up on me now. So I go from neutral back into drive to see if it reboots something or something, and it doesn't. It's still going hybrid problem, and I'm still feathering the pedal, and it's kind of herky-jerky, but it's not catching. I'm not gonna be moving pretty soon, is the way I figure it. So I put my signal on to the right, and I start sort of pushing my way over. Now cars are coming up a little bit faster because I'm getting a little slower.
Yeah.
But I get the signal on, and I'm moving on into the right lane. Now I'm in the slow lane. I'm still coasting, but I'm decreasing. So I put it in neutral so I can get a clean coast instead of working on the drive line. Now, there is, I talk about being a carpenter and being a comedian and having some skill, but my real skill is coasting cars safely to a stop, like a pilot when the power engines go down, finding a place to land that thing. Right. I've done it in so many old race cars. I just did it 2 months ago doing Laguna Seca. I was in an old car, and the car lost power like in the middle of the racetrack, and now you're just coasting, and you're coasting, it's a combination between shutting stuff down in the car so it doesn't catch on fire. Sometimes thinking, how can I reboot the car? Can I restart the car? And letting people around you know what is going on. Because in a race, there's 42 cars, and they're coming up fast. And they want to know what you're doing, So I get the thing into neutral, I get all the way over to the right lane, and now I shut the blinker off and I turn on the hazards. Right. So now hazards on, hazards on, neutral, coasting, going about 45 and thinking, am I going to make this forced lawn off-ramp, which is ahead about a mile, and I do not want to get stuck on this freeway.
No.
I don't want any part of it. And the easiest way to get killed is just getting out of your car on the freeway. And some guy got killed just yesterday, the day before, just walking across the freeway. We have that Coastal Commercial clip, by the way, and if we do, can you please put it on the screen, please?
So I'm at the Forest Lawn exit.
No, not our screen. I mean, I have a little screen here, and I always beg you guys to put stuff on it if you have it, and sometimes you do. I don't need it on the screen. I need it on my. I need to know you have it.
We just figured you knew since we told you we had it already before we started the show.
Okay. Let me just say, you don't have to figure. It's not like I get charged per letter or anything. What I know, but see, here's the thing. I don't want to be a dick, but I told you go look for this thing,
Roger.
And then I don't see anything on the screen, so I assume either you're looking for it or there's. I don't want to just call for something and not have it pop up.
Absolutely.
Is what I'm saying. So you just put it on our little screen, and then we'll never have to think about this ever again. How about
They
that?
got it.
All right. Well, you say they got it. This has been discussed 37 times. All right, but it's been a while. All right. Anyway, so I'm now coasting.
Yeah.
And I'm attempting to make it to the Forest Lawn Drive, which ironically is where the cemetery
I know.
is.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, an Erie Harbinger. And I got my hazards on, and now I roll the window down on the driver's side, and the hazards are blinking, and I'm going 43 miles an hour, and I'm waving. I'm waving people by. Got the hand out, and I'm moving it, and I'm going, go around.
Yeah.
And people are going around. Of course, at some point, a semi-truck who didn't have to go around. This person was 2 lanes over. They're just doing 65 and just going past me. They didn't have to move or do a maneuver or anything. All I was doing was looking in the rear and trying to wave everyone past. This guy's 2 lanes over. He's coming up, as he goes by on the air horn. I'm like, how necessary is it to add to my stress level at this point? Hazards are on. White dude's doing 42 in a new car, and his hand is out the window telling everyone to go around. Is that not enough information for you to glean that maybe this guy's having an issue with his automobile? Like, maybe there's an issue.
Yeah.
It happens. Sometimes you see cars pulled over and stuff. Maybe I fucking had a heart attack. Maybe my fucking wife's water broke or something. Like something. Or maybe the car's hybrid system is malfunctioned. Whatever it is, do you have to lean? And by the way, with the window open and the air horn and me already at DEFCON 4, like, why are we adding to this? Long haul trucker who travels the highways and byways of America. Have you never encountered a car that had been pulled over because of some issue involving the car? Is it possible? Is this all new territory? Maybe this is your first day driving this semi-truck. I don't know. I don't know.
The big rigs.
That's right. Go to the School of Trucking. I'm Debbie Dutzen. I'm from the Dutzen School of Trucking. I'm Wally Thorpe. I'm from the Wally Thorpe School of Trucking. Okay. I don't know why this guy felt. Why does anyone feel this is part of their job? What? I evidently, I'm already having an arguably bad day because my car has no power and I turn the hazards on to alert you to the fact that I'm having an issue. That's why there's a button on your dash to do it. But then secondly, the hand is out and I'm waving people by.
But my theory is it's not about you. It was about the guys that you were sending into his lane. He got scared, butthole got puckered, horn comes on.
He was 2 lanes over. So he wasn't, there was an open lane between me and him.
Yeah.
2 lanes over.
2 lanes.
2 lanes over.
Because I was going to...
Open lane, and the people around me were just going into the open lane and going past. But that was not happening when he drove by.
Yeah.
So, no, it did not affect him at all.
Well, I'm devil's advocate. You know, that's what I do.
Could it be that he's just evil trucker and he's just trying to fuck with you?
Yeah,
This guy is under duress. I'm going to add to it.
He's probably an evil trucker. At least that's how I identify him now. But I'm just saying, where does the energy come from? You know, why? How can you possibly be invested at 11:14 in the morning in Valley Village that somebody's having a problem with their car? And by the way, the horn is to tell me what? Never to do this again, or to mind my P's and Q's, or maybe I shouldn't have put the hazards on. Maybe that I offended His Highness. I don't know. But this guy goes by, and I'm like, you really fucking have to, this is really. So now, at least I'm thinking about him. So there's a hill and a bridge.
Oh, great.
Before you get to Forest Lawn, because the LA River goes by there, right? And I'm like, if I conk out on the bridge, there's no shoulder.
Ugh.
I'm just in the fucking lane. So I'm going, come on, and I'm waving frantically, and I just get over the bridge hump, and now I hit the ramp, and the ramp's downhill. It's a sweeper, you know what I mean? So with a stop sign on the end, but I couldn't do it because I had no power. So I sweep around, and then it starts heading a little uphill, and I just start coasting and come to a stop right between 2 illegals selling flowers for Forest Lawn. And now I'm in a different predicament, which is people are pulling behind me wanting to buy flowers from illegals, and they think I'm buying flowers from illegals, and I got illegals thinking I'm buying flowers from illegals, but I just coasted to a stop there. So now I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And now I'm angry at the trucker. I'm angry at the city. Why do they do this? They just let people sell shit on the street. It's a whole fucking black market. Like, They constantly talk about tax. We're going to tax this. We're not going to tax that. We're going to tax the top end. We're not going to tax tips. We're not going to. How about the people who pay zero taxes all day long and do it right in front of your fucking ass all day long? There's nothing. There's no thought. How about the guy who owns the Toluca Lake flower store up the street who pays a fucking ton and works and comp and taxes and regulation? How about the fact that he can't do the flowers for your deceased Nana? He can't do any better than $31 for that bouquet. And these guys are $14 all fucking day long because no insurance, no building, no rent, no taxes, no overhead. Is there any thought as a city that what these guys are doing illegally should not be done? But anyway,
never thought about that.
I come to a stop and I'm like, oh God, no, I don't want any flowers. I got people coming up on me. I got the hazards on, but they think I pulled over to buy flowers at this point. And don't get me wrong, I could use a little cheering up.
Yeah, at this point.
A bouquet would have been nice at that point. So I sat there, and then you do what you do with all modern cars. Shut it down, sit a second.
Reboot.
Hit the lock, unlock, started it up, and still saw on the dash that the hybrid system needed service and it needed reserviced immediately, but was able to get it in gear and then just sort of limp it around on the side street until I got here. So that was my
What the hell?
experience. Yeah, new car.
To be continued.
Yeah, now it's getting picked up on a flatbed and and I don't, but I will, I make fun of Mike August all the time on this show.
Yeah.
And I got some other rants booted up for that guy. coming soon. And Mike doesn't care. But I will say Mike has a quality which is probably the number one quality in a human being that I like in dudes. And if a dude doesn't have it, I hate it. I hate a pussy.
Yeah.
You must hate pussies.
Oh, definitely.
I hate people going, I'm not going to do that. I don't even know where that's been. I fucking hate pussies. I hate germaphobes and pussies. I got here. My car's going to get flatbedded to Van Nuys, Galpin, whatever. I called Mike August. I said, Mike, you're coming here after the show? He goes, yeah. I go, we're going over to Leno's shop in Burbank by the airport? He goes, yeah. I go, guess who's driving me home to Malibu when we're done? He lives in Orange County.
Yeah.
I go, guess who's driving me back to Malibu after we're finished with Leno? And he goes, I don't know. I go, you are. He goes, why? I go, my car's crapped, and I don't have any way to get from Leno's back to my house in Malibu. Now, most people go, there's something called Uber. But not Mike.
He threw a fit.
And by the way, we're leaving Leno's at 4 in the afternoon, maybe 4:30. Leno is Burbank. I'm Malibu. Mike's Yorba Linda. Deep OC. He's going to be driving for 7 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just went, all right. And that's what I like. That's what I like in a human being.
Yeah.
Not now, there are other guys that would have done it, but would have tried to score some points to put in the bank. You know what I mean? People treat this where they go, yeah, I can do that. I'll have to miss my daughter's soccer game, but I can do it. I can do it. I mean, I'm going to be on the road for a long time. Now, what are they doing? They're trying to sock away some points. They get a few points, and then the next time you're with that dude, and you go, we're going to dinner? Yeah. And you go, I'm kind of in the mood for Thai food. And they go, I really want pizza. You go, yeah, well, let's do pizza. Because he socked some points away. People collect and trade. They collect and trade.
I need to start doing that.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not for this event. It's for the next event. When I'm saying, because when you talk, the next time you talk, you go, well, why don't you come by and pick me up, and then we'll go to the airport. And they go, well, why don't you swing by my place? And you go, you know it. See, they bank some points. And the more they fucking hem and haw,
yeah,
the more points they get. So they go, this is my wife's birthday, and we're supposed to go to
That like
Outback,
shows weak
but
character. I think that's like
it's a puss move. A lot of dudes do the puss move where they're
but that's a female kind of strategy.
yes.
Yeah.
You either do it or you fucking don't do it, but you don't tell me about how much it stinks. There's guys who do it. There are guys who do it at work.
I think it's guys
who
that
do it
were
everywhere.
raised by their mama and didn't have a dad. Shut the fuck up. Like that's how that strategy emerges. It's because you hear your ma do it and you go, oh, okay, that's how you get things out
Mike
of people.
Stabs was a football coach.
There you go.
And then also there's the other person. This is the chick move. Once I tell Mike, my car's done. I need a ride to Malibu. He goes, okay. The chick move is, what happened to the car? And then you go, it just crapped out. It doesn't run at all? No. I mean, it's getting towed to Galpin Fort. So nothing? We have to fucking go down this road where we do this autopsy on what happened, which is part of banking points.
I hear
that's the precursor to the bank.
I see.
So they go, okay, you tell me you need a ride to Malibu.
I could use a ride to Malibu. I need a ride to Malibu.
What happened to your car?
Oh, it broke down.
Totally?
I mean, yeah, it's getting flatbedded out of here.
But it doesn't run at all?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you right now.
Oh, and there's no kind of, I don't know, flatbed Malibu service or something?
No, they don't offer that.
Oh, okay. Because my son is playing in his first T-ball game at 5, so I'm going to have to miss that. Banking.
Yeah.
I'm banking points, so I can use them against
I had a father that, like, depending on how viciously he said the word shit was how angry he was about your whining. The top level was, I don't give a shit.
Wow.
Yeah, like it would be like there's a C in the shit. Like, I don't give a shit. And then you knew that it definitely, I don't give a shit was like the regular standard level. But once he got that C in there, I don't give a shit, then you knew to stop this line of whining.
I've never heard my dad swear.
Oh, wow. My dad sweared as a standard.
Except for one time. We're driving down Laurel Canyon in this VW Bug because he's a super rich guy.
Nice.
And I pulled this, I had the mouthpiece for his trumpet. He liked playing the flugelhorn. And I was holding it out the window to see if it would make a trumpet noise, but it was just the mouthpiece. It didn't do anything. And I dropped it.
Oh.
And my dad was so fucking poor that a trumpet mouthpiece was like a big ticket
deal.
item. And I heard him yell, cocksucker, as loud as he could.
Oh, Carolla, he busted him out.
All right, let's do a little news.
Man, I got Kanye news if you want it.
Oh man.
Doing research for this, I was chubbed up the whole time because Bianca Censori's mom. Yeah, racy errands run. Kanye wants to bang me is the headline from TMZ. Yeah, Kanye West allegedly told his wife Bianca Censori he wanted to sleep with her mom, which is bringing a lot of attention to Alexandra Censori, who, there's Kanye and his wife right there on the screen. Yes, Alexandra Censori, who stepped out on Tuesday in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how far the tree falls from the apple.
I know.
But this is a pretty good looking apple here.
She is quite a looker.
Yeah.
I mean, in a strange pornography way. Or maybe she's pro wrestling. This whole story, it was on Daily Mail, TMZ. It was like a very big story where Kanye allegedly wrote to his wife, I want to fuck your mom before she leaves. That was a text message.
The thing that was crazy about them as a couple is he would go out totally covered up, hood up, sunglasses on, gloves. You couldn't see a square inch of skin on him, and she would be totally naked the whole time.
Yes.
And I guess it's a power play, but that that's a pretty big contrast.
A yin
right
and yang,
there.
almost. Like a sort of a yin and yang, if you will.
Yin and yeezy.
Yeah. And I don't know. That seemed to me like kind of a BDSM sort of thing. I don't know. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was about, if you could bring up his mom, his mom. Sorry, rest in peace there, Donda. Yeah, there you go. There's the ma. I'll just be on record as would.
Yeah. Good bones.
Yeah, right? Nice structure on her. It looks like an old therapist I had.
How old's the mom? We can figure it out.
60 some odd.
All right.
I mean, not bad. So, yeah, the whole thing about this story is that his assistant is the one coming out with these claims, like letting it know. And he should have asked Bianca if she wanted to watch him fuck your mom.
You gotta treat assistants right, or not do any shit in front of them.
Yes,
because eventually they become your ex-assistant, and then they start talking to people.
Yeah,
everybody who gets into trouble in Hollywood, it's a disgruntled ex-assistant who says shit.
You're absolutely right. And speaking of that, the next story is also a little Hollywood thing.
Bianca's 29 and Mom is around 50.
Around?
She had her young.
Oh, geez, Louise. Well, yeah. I mean, look, I don't know if that ever happened or whatever, but Kanye is definitely a freak. And I'm beginning to think that this guy Diddy is not a good guy, because a woman claims that Diddy raped her with the TV remote as payback for accusing him of Tupac's murder. Yeah, Sean Diddy Combs.
Sometimes you do that just to check the battery, like you pop the cap off. I had to do this in a hotel room and roll them around just to try to reboot the thing, and it worked. But some guys have different techniques for that. It's not necessarily a rape. Maybe the thing was on the fritz.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She alleges sexual assault's a new lawsuit. Why he's
the
down
DVD
busted.
Remote is, not as big a violation as a universal remote would be in terms of the remote.
I mean, I don't know how you pair it to the TV, but this is one method. There's
also it makes for a real like who's on first situation for the cops, because then the chick's going, I was raped with the remote. Remote location rape. Where were you? In the forest? No, remote. Yeah, we're asking where? Not in your home? No, rape, remote rape. Yeah, people get raped remotely. Quite a bit. That's where all the rape goes on. But you got to give us a location. Who's on first?
Oh, my God.
Which is a horrible bit.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you're lightening it up. This is a dark story in which Diddy, did this with the remote, apparently.
Well, is anything, when it comes to Diddy, P. Diddy, or even Kanye or anything, is anything off the table?
No.
Like we go, that guy said this or did that, where you just go, yeah, it's on the table.
What shocks me about all this, Kanye, Diddy, what's going on is very strange, because all this was happening for years and years and years, because this happened years ago, apparently, and in 2018, and none of this came out ever, because you guys had so much power, even with the internet and so much social media, where something like this could drip out. None of it. It gets squished, squashed, blacked over, because Kanye Diddy in this case can just buy off enough people to keep it mum. And even to the point where he claimed that he held a knife to this lady's face, she says, and threatened to cut her cheeks and give her a Glasgow smile, which is a pretty wild thing to say to somebody. And also been accused, and then she said that in the $50 million lawsuit, that it's going to be that she was gang raped after the remote situation. This is dark. This is really dark. Like all of it. The lady is now trying to get money, and Diddy offered her money to say the incident was consensual. So he's really like good at, because remember the Cassie incident.
Intercourse is sort of one thing you can argue about how consensual it is, but rape with the TV remote it's a tougher putt.
I mean, if you have the hotel one where you wrap it with saran wrap, then it's like a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little more sanitary,
more consensual.
I don't think P. Diddy's ever getting out of prison.
Nah.
I've said it a million times. Should have fled to some place we didn't have an extradition treaty with.
Venezuela, is it?
I asked Mark Garagos once about this, and I kept telling him, because I was telling him that Weinstein needed to flee, 6 years ago, and he said no. But I think he just said no because he had to say no.
Yeah.
But we don't have one with France anymore.
Oh,
Dawson can look it up. But Roman Polanski is like grandfathered in or something. It's like we had one. We didn't have one with France. France just kept Roman. Listen, France loving Jerry Lewis and keeping Roman Polanski is just to piss us off. They don't like Roman Polanski or Jerry Lewis. All they're doing is fucking with us. They're trolling us.
Yeah.
Basically, we have an extradition treaty with France, but any party can say, fuck you.
Oh.
And that's basically what France is doing. Nah, you can't have them. You can just not turn over people.
Oh, wow.
So they do exchange prison. It says we have an extradition treaty with France, but it's broken all the
Case
time.
by case basis.
I guess so.
Oh,
And with
wow.
Roman Polanski, they're like, fuck you.
Can I say this? I have no idea. Once in a while, someone will flee to Mexico.
Yeah.
And then we'll go, well, we want him back. And then Mexico, of all places, doesn't have the death penalty.
Yeah.
Even though going outside
Is a death penalty.
is a death penalty. But they don't have a death penalty. And then they go, we're not giving him back if you're going to give him the death penalty.
Yeah.
Our answer to that should be, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to send one guy over in an unmarked car, and we're going to fucking take this guy out of your shit prison. And if anyone says shit, we will fuck you up badly. That's our answer to you and or Canada and or France. This guy, while he was here, raped an underage girl.
Yeah.
And so we would like to bring him to justice. And they're like, we do not do that. And I'd be like, you know what? Fuck off. We're just going to take him.
Yeah.
And look, the first guy is showing up in an unmarked car, but the second guy is showing up in a B-29. And we're just going to fucking start carpet bombing if you do not do this.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, if World War III ever breaks out, we're not bailing you pussies out. Just fucking take them. We should just fucking. What is the notion of the extradition? Whatever. Just he's a criminal. We're taking him.
I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah. Straight dictator status.
Well, he'll get a trial.
Yeah.
But we're taking him because we have laws, and one thing that's illegal is rape. So that's it. So we're taking him. I don't know what. Like, we just sit around as the mightiest country.
Director.
We sit as the mightiest country in the world and go, well, what are you going to do? A drunk guy, Parisian guy, said to fuck off. So I guess he's going to just be eating baguettes and wine tonight. Maybe on top of a 15-year-old Parisian chick. I don't know. Nothing we can do.
Yeah, Diddy is not a good guy, it looks like. And
should have fled.
Yeah, should have got away. Couldn't. Panda diplomacy resumes. A pair of bears arrive at the National Zoo.
Don't like it.
Didn't work out with the bat last time, did it?
We pay him $1 million.
Is that what it is? Oh, my God.
I've looked everything up.
Yeah.
It's been between $500 and $1 million a year to lease these fucking lazy bears.
Why?
To lease Fozzie Bear. We spend $500 to $1 million a year, and we don't get to name them.
Yeah, they're already named Bao Li and King Bao. Queen Bao? Queen, I guess. 3-year-old female and male.
Right.
They're the latest in the species. Yeah, reparations for American zoos. Yeah,
but
it's back.
But what I'm saying is as soon as they get to the zoo, it's like, your name is Gary, your name is Ruth.
Right.
That's it. We're not going with your Chinese names.
Yeah, I don't get it.
We pay for this shit.
Yeah, I don't understand. And do they bring in that much money? Like, do people go and see $1 million worth of Panda?
I mean, I'm sure it translates into ticket sales.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have to think about that. Like, I was watching TMZ last night. It's like 50 Cent is going to get $15 million to do a 6-show residency in whatever Vegas, and you're like, do they make their money back on $15 million for 6 shows? And they're like, No, they just bring people in and they gamble or whatever.
Well, but then that means they do.
Yeah, they're not making it off the ticket
not the
sales
show,
or whatever.
yeah.
So the zoo would probably go, well, we don't make it exactly off the ticket sales, but we get more people and they buy more concessions and we get some notoriety and blah, blah, blah.
So overall, it's a net positive for them. I don't know.
I guess. I just figured we're paying China.
Yeah, that's so
and
strange.
we don't even get to name them. And they don't really do anything.
So they're kind of like winning capitalism.
They're winning. Yes, they're winning.
Oh, damn.
That's why we gotta get Trump in there, because he'd just keep the bears. We should tell.
I'm into that.
No, we should tell China what fucking France tells us with Roman Polanski. Yeah, we got him. Fuck off. Well, we want them back. Well, you can't have them back. They're ours.
I mean, look at them.
You want to come get them? Come get them.
Those bears got charisma, especially this one on the right with the little on its nose. Ah, it's cute. It's adorable.
They look cute, but they don't do anything. They're like Sofia Vergara. They just don't do anything. But it's just the way they look that we like, you know.
Why is that? There's something anatomical about the, I don't know, panda eyes. I don't get it either.
There's something about seeing like a Saint Bernard puppy that just lights up a part in your frontal lobe where you just react to it, you know. And this bear, all bears have this.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at footage of a grizzly bear laying by a river on the grass, like his paws down to snatch salmon out of the river. And I was looking at it, and it's like, if I were there, I would walk up to it and start petting it. I would try to sleep with it or take a nap with it or something. It was just big floppy paws, big puss, you know, big head, you know, little eyeballs, big furry, little ears perked up. I was like, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. That's what bears all have it. And then these ones are like bear on top of bear because I got the little black dots where the eyes, you know, black fur where the eyes are, and then the black thing and the white face. It's like somebody designed something that's like, if you said, what would be the most irresistible thing a woman could see? You know, because like when women see a puppy or a baby or something, they go, oh, look at him. This is it.
You keep saying puppy. I think maybe the lines in our head that love dogs is getting crossed. And you know what I mean? We see a giant puppy. But really, in reality, that's a fucking terrifying monster.
There's a Chinese zoo that spray painted a dog,
exactly right.
a chow, to look like a panda.
Yes.
Which has got to suck for the Chinese zoo because, like, they got pandas.
It was a gimmick, though.
It was a
They
gimmick.
weren't trying to put it off on anybody.
Oh, okay.
But I bet they'd rather have a real panda.
Yeah. I think you can get. Oh, they did a good job. I mean,
This wasn't even the one I
paint.
saw, but yeah. That's kind of nice in China. You can do whatever the fuck you want to a dog. We're over here. We're like, we got rules.
Nah, I one time painted my wiener dog to look like a gator, an alligator.
Oh, really?
Shaved him into, yeah.
Well, how'd that work? Tell me
Worked
about
pretty good. All the ladies loved it.
Wait, you shaved your wiener?
Yeah.
Make it look like a gator?
Yeah, exactly right.
Wait, for something? Halloween?
Just for fun.
Do you have a photograph of this?
I definitely do. I'll send it to you guys. Yeah, that's a gator. Gator hot dog was like, he was a big part of my life. Rest in peace.
You shit. Oh, because he killed himself after being humiliated at the dog park?
He was violently barking in the mirror for like 5 minutes. I didn't know why.
Oh, because he didn't know he was the gator.
He didn't understand. Yeah.
How do you do the conversion?
I had a nice lady from the healthy spot that she like just gave him a nice shave. I told her what I wanted to do. She's like, I can do that.
Shave him to look like a gator.
Yep.
Any prosthetics at all?
No need. Because once the shave was in there and once the hair dye was applied, he looked strikingly like a gator.
You do him green or brown? Green,
and then faded into his brown, his natural brown. He just looked awesome. It was.
What do we do with the face, like the mouth and stuff?
Just a little scaling on the side, you know, little shave into this way, into this cheek, into his head, Nice. It was great. It was awesome.
What state was this in?
This was here in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
This was California.
We don't normally put
Well,
up
I
with
don't know
this.
if you could get away with this. This is like 10 years ago, so I don't know if you can get away with it these days.